What does a Cambridge neuroscientist talk to her kids about over dinner? Brains. That wasn't a joke. I actually do talk to my kids about brains. I teach them critical thinking, and this is one of my favourite examples. I've done this with my 7-year-old daughter. We start with the question, do boys have bigger brains? And her first answer was no. Good girl. But actually, the scientific evidence does show that boys' brains are between 9 and 12% bigger than girls. So after she said no, I asked her, if boys are on average bigger, would you expect their brains to be bigger? Just like if they were taller, would you expect their legs to be longer? So she said, yeah, okay, boys' brains are bigger, and that's probably because they are on average bigger. But now the next question is, are bigger brains better? So this is a paper that was done by my former colleagues. They show the relationship between brain size and body size. Now, for some animals, for a lot of animals, the brain kind of scales with the size of the body. So you've got a bigger animal, you've got a bigger brain, right? But you can see there circled in red in this correlation, there is humans that slightly diverge from this. So our brains are bigger than you would expect for our body size. Same with octopuses, same with rats and mice, which is why we quite often study them when we're studying brains, because they are actually really intelligent. So their brains are bigger than we would expect for their body size, and we think that this is related to intelligence. So let's get back to the question, are bigger brains better? We know that boys have a bigger overall total brain volume, 9 to 12%, but that's just probably because of this size thing. And total volume of the brain is actually not that useful a measure. If you consider that at 2 years old, you have 80% of your brain volume. So that your brain is 80% the size of an adult's brain when you're two. But you obviously don't have the intellect of an adult. So it's actually more useful for us to look at areas of the brain, different areas of the brain and their connections. In which case there are some regions that are bigger in women or female brains than in male brains. And there's some differences in connectivity. Now, what that actually means in terms of intelligence is unclear. What has happened for a very long time is that we've seen differences in brains between male and female, sex differences, but these are usually interpreted in a very gender stereotypical way. So what they will see is like there's more connectivity in the language areas of female brains, for example, and they will interpret that as, oh, well, we're better with relationships and we talk more. Gender stereotypes, okay? Same with men. They will find areas with male brains, they'll find areas that are important in spatial reasoning or